In this video we see an Alpha driven by a Muppet, and I end up finishing poorly after a promising start. A decent qualifying by me puts me 4th on the grid and gives me a half decent chance at a podium. And talking of grids, it would be nice if Polyphony actually gave us more grid starts on the races, especially on a circuit like this one. Anybody starting 10th or 11th or even lower is at a horrible disadvantage due to the last two corners. The cars in the lead are already way ahead. Jumping into the race, we cross the start line and I'm about 8/10 behind the GTR in front. Full throttle, keep it to the right hand side, and as we approach these two yellow tents, little dab of brake, over to the left, take a large chunk of curb, keep the throttle down as it sweeps down to the left as you head towards the tunnel. Now move to the right and brake just as you go into the shade, and accelerate just as you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now move over to the left there, and I like to brake just before the yellow sign. Right, hit the apex, which I didn't do. As we come into the next set of corners, I go too deep, miss another apex which forces me to slow down, drop a couple of attempts there. Under the little bridge, dab a brake, over to the left. I'm too wide, but I still keep a reasonable amount of speed as we head to the long back straight and going down through the tunnels. At this point, Kai in my Alpha is nearly side by side with me, but the Alpha just doesn't have the speed of a GTR and he has to pull in behind for a slipstream. We carry on, we exit the tunnel, and as we go down the hill you can see the Atenza is actually making a move on the Alpha. As we approach the bend, oh my god, and if we watch that on the cinematic you can see the Alpha there comes steaming through the gap, and quite frankly I was lucky to not to take all three of us out. And if we go back to the race, we can see I'm now behind the Atenza. We both try to take the racing line through this corner and the Alpha ends up hitting me again, forcing us both into the barrier, but then he turns into me, pushes me across the track in front of a GTR. At this point I think I've been hit by just about every car on that section of the track, and to be honest I am fairly miffed. Now at this point I'm driving angry, and for some reason seem to think that taking the inside line and racing against the Ferrari up to this corner is a good idea. It isn't. I go deep, I go too wide, and the Ferrari, fair play to him, does a good job taking my place fairly, and he's ahead of me. And if we look back to that last corner we can see that the Alpha is still driving like an idiot, and for some reason seems to think that hitting the barrier is a more efficient way of slowing down than using the brake pedal. As far as I'm concerned, large dose of karma there for him. And we'll just fast forward here until we reach the section at the entrance to the first tunnel. Now I'm not sure if the Ferraris intentionally tried to brake check me here at the apex of the tunnel. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but either way he's put himself at a disadvantage and allowed me to catch right up to the back of him. As we approach this corner I miss the apex yet again, but as we cross this timing line I was pleased to find that I was purple by nearly 3.5 seconds. That however was the highlight of this race. I chased a Ferrari, I couldn't catch him. In fact he did quite well, he pulled out another 2 second lead on me, and that pretty much summed up the rest of the race. And as we jump ahead to the end of the race and I go down the start finish straight to cross the line in what was a quite disappointing 7th position, or at least I thought it was 7th position, because for some reason I get bumped up from 7th to 6th. Maybe the stewards thought I deserved it. 2 other little bonuses at the end of this race were, firstly, the Muppet in the Alpha only managed to finish 12, and I still managed to keep my clean race bonus. I'll take that. And that seemed to pretty well sum up Daily Race B for me for this week. Best I could manage was a 5th place result. Well, let's see what races we get next week and see if I can get an improvement on that. Thank you for watching, please hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you in the next video.